Ave Satanas, Ave LUCIFER, Ave Lord Belial, Ave Lord Leviathan, Ave Beautiful Queen Lilith, Ave Lord King Asmodeus, Ave King Asmodee, Ave Lucifer's Raphael, Ave King Paimon, Ave Lord Metastopheles, Ave Lord Chronozone, Ave Lord Beelzebub, Ave Lord Person, Ave Lord Zagan, Ave Princess Dagon, Ave and excuse me. Ave and hail to every demon and every demoness that's in existence, every ancient god that's in existence. Hail Satan. To my true 666% brothers and sisters. The fakes, the phonies, keyboard Satanists, I really don't care what happens to you. I truly don't. And that being said, I want to do this video on, because this has been playing on my mind for a while. Like, I'm not joking, I mean a while, like a couple of years probably. And I never addressed this one in either video that I've done yet. I know that for a fact, because I would remember. No question about that. Now, that being said, the question is, or not the question, the topic is, people that call Lord Satan, Father God Satan, which he obviously is our Father, our spiritual Father, our Lord, our Dark Lord, our Master, our God, our King, our Emperor, you name it. He's it. Father Satan is everything. Okay? Now, well, what gets me is some people, now, I mean this in a very general way, too. I'm not pointing to anyone specifically. I'm not talking about any people in particular. I'm just saying it in general. Okay? And you'll understand why in a moment. Now, over the past, like, they're about, probably maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I was friends with a person online, and this was a he, not a she, a he, and I was friends with him for like a year, maybe a year and a half, and all of a sudden, because usually I say Father Satan because I mean it, obviously, or I wouldn't say it, or, you know, Father Lucifer, whichever. And I always type in Father Satan, right? In a lot, not always, but sometimes, depending on, you know, what I'm typing and whatever. And and I get a message from this same person underneath a post that I posted like 2 years ago, like 6 months ago. No, probably 3 or 4 months ago. And the post told me, from this person who I had on my friends list for like 2 years, 3 years, the post told me that I'm not allowed to say Father Satan. And this is supposed to be another, this was supposed to be another true sadistic, 666% traditional, spiritual, theistic Satanist. Now, this is a quote to the exact words. Why are you saying Father to Satan? I am the only one who's allowed to call. I am the only child of his on earth. And I read it, and I thought it was a joke at first, right? Like, 'cause I started laughing and everything over it, right? Which you would, right? And anyone normal, well, you know, I guess normal would, but I know I did. Normal or not. But that being said, I text back and I said, "You're joking, right?" I said, "I've always called Lord Satan Father Satan, and I always will, whether I die tonight or whether I die when I'm 100. I've always called him Father Satan, and I always will. And nobody will never change my mind on that one. Because I know for a fact he is my true spiritual father. You know, not flesh and blood father, but true spiritual father. Okay? Now, that being said, this person texts me back, and this is a male, it's not a girl, it's not a woman or a lady, it's a male. He messaged back right after I messaged that, like I said, you're joking, right? Because I thought he was joking. That's what it sounded like. Well, that's the way I took it as. And he said, no, I'm not joking, I'm dead serious. I am the only child of Father Satan in this world. I said, okay, now this is going to, I said to myself, this is going to be an interesting ride, right? And it was, believe you me. And then I said to him, I said, so what you're telling me is no other person who is a true, spiritual, theistic, traditional, whether you're a demonolatry or a necromancer, cannot say that you're Father Satan's child, or cannot say Father Satan. I said, what you're saying, this is what I typed back in, right? I said, what, yeah, I typed it back into him. I said, what you're saying is, or what I'm getting out of you saying, I said, is that you're the only person in this world who is that can call Lord Satan Father. Yes, that's exactly the remark I got back. Yes, because he is my true earthly father. I said, no, you're wrong. I said, he is your spiritual earthly father. I said, plus, he is not your biological dad. I said, the best to my knowledge, this is what I typed in, right? I said, the best to my knowledge is Father Satan never had sex with your mother to make you. I said, because if he did, he would have tore your mother apart in every way, shape, and form. I said, maybe an incubus probably poked at her, but not Father Satan. And he said, they never had to do it that way. He just made me. And I knew I was dealing with a person that was obviously very unstable. Okay? Now, whether it was religious paranoia, schizophrenia, bipolar, what have you, I knew there was something there big. Right? So, I just typed back again. I said, no, I'm sorry, but I've been calling Father Satan Father for as long as I can remember, and I'm not joking. Like, I've been calling Lord Satan Father from the moment I started, from the first night I became a Satanist. A true Satanist. And believe you, that was 33 years ago. It was 33 years ago, this past November the 5th, what they call in the States Guy Fawkes Night. We used to call it back home in Newfoundland, Canada, we used to call it Bonfire Night. And some people back home still call it Guy Fawkes Night, but the majority of people just call it Bonfire Night. That was the night I dedicated myself to Father Satan. 33 years ago. Okay? 33 years ago, this past November the 5th. I know, believe you me, I can remember. Because it was the best day of my fucking life. I gotta try to watch my language on these videos too, because they're getting picky now, and I don't want to screw anything up, because I have so many videos done. And I haven't got no strikes on me yet, and I don't have any reason to have any strikes on me from YouTube, and I'm not going to have any reason. I'm not going to give them a reason, because I don't promote anything out of the way. Like you know what I mean? Like, I don't promote hate, I don't promote anything like that. Because it is what it is, right? Well, that being said, yeah, when I told him that, or when he told me that, I was checking my phone there for something. Thought I had a text, but didn't. But anyway, that being said, text aside, not sex, text. T-E-X-T, not S-E-X. T-E-X-T. Now that aside, this guy was like got really combative over it, like, and aggressive over it, right? Like, he was the only person in this world who, he was the only person on this planet who Father Satan, who could call Father Satan, actually call Father Satan Satan. Who could actually call him Father. And I said to him, I said, do you honestly believe, I said, think about it. I said, I can't remember his name now. I said, think about it. I said, do you honestly believe that you are the only person in this world that can call Father Satan, that can say the words Father Satan? And he said, yes. I said, so what you're saying, I said, is every traditional Satanist, every spiritual Satanist, every Theistic Satanist, every necromancer, every person that's in the demonolatry, whether it's a demonolator or demonolatress, I said, every black witch, every sorcerer, I said, everyone like that, I said, nobody else can call him Father Satan but you. And he said, yes. This is what he typed back, and I typed in him. I said, so what gives you the right to say who can call Father Satan Father and who can't? I said, where do you come off saying, trying to be an authority figure like that, and saying that you can, nobody else can call him Father Satan but you? I said, now, first of all, that's totally wrong. I said, you're totally wrong on that. I said, whether you want to agree with it or not, I said, you're wrong on it. I said, and secondly, I said, I've been calling Father Satan for the last 33 years. I said, and I sure as hell am not going to stop now. I said, just because you don't like it. I said, if that's the case, I can't see how you have one friend on your friends list. I said, that are true Satanists, because true Satanists say Father Satan, stuff like that, right? You know, it depends on the person too, right? They might say Lord Satan or whatever, right? And to each their own in that way, right? But in saying that, like, I was totally blew away by it, because this come out of nowhere when I said, you know, when I typed it in. I guess Buddy was in a bad mood or what have you, right? And I told him, and he said, you better stop. This is what he said to me. He said, you better stop calling him Father Satan too, because he's my daddy. He's my dad, not yours or anybody else's. And then I typed back and I said, well, I said, this is the way it's going to be. I said, and I don't care if you like it, or you lump it, or whatever. I said, I really do not care. I said, but this is what's the way it's going to be. I've been calling Father Satan Father. This was 3 or 4 months ago, yeah. I said, for the past, 30, well, at then it was 32 plus years, right? I said, I've been calling Father Satan Father for the past 32 plus years. I said, and all of a sudden, just because you say that I'm not allowed to call, I shouldn't call, I'm not, he didn't say you shouldn't either. He said you're not allowed. Nobody is but him. I said, you know what? I said, I've been calling Father Satan. At the time, it was 32 plus years. Now it's 33 and a few months. And he said to me, he said, no, you're not. He said, I'm the only one. I said, well, I tell you what. I said, you're not going to have very many friends in your life. This is what I typed him, right? I said, you're not going to have very many friends in your life, number one. I said, number two, you better start doing a little more research and digging in, because Father Satan has millions, probably billions of children. I said, and every one of them call him Father Satan. And a lot of them call beautiful Queen Lilith Mother Lilith. I said, so I guess you'll probably have a problem with that one too. And he said, yes, actually I do. She's my mom. Nobody else's. I said, well, you know what? I tell you what. I said, I'm going to do you a big favor. I said, I'm going to delete you as a friend on my friends list so I don't have to hear your bullshit. I said, number one, and before I deleted them, right, I texted them. I said, no, or didn't text them, sent them a message on, you know, when we were having our little discussion, right? Because that's all it was. It wasn't an argument or, it was just discussion, right? And I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I do not know if you have ever seen a psychiatrist, or have ever been checked out for any psychological thing you might have going on, I said, you might be this is what I typed in, right? I said, you might be bipolar or you might be schizophrenic. I said, no, I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist. I said, but I do know one thing. I do know the signs, and I really do, I'm not joking. They're very easy to see if you know what you're looking for. I said, so, and the both of them, I said, if you get diagnosed with bipolar, and then you get diagnosed with schizophrenia, probably with religious paranoid delusions, because that's what they say, that's what they call them. I said, would be a schizoaffective, you would have what they call schizoaffective. That's bipolar and schizophrenia together. Now, whether it's bipolar 1 or bipolar 2, it does not matter. If you still have either bipolar thing with either bipolar with schizophrenia, either way, it's schizoaffective disorder. And they would throw in paranoid religious delusions with it. That's the way they do it. They've been doing that forever. And I said to him, I said, and by the way, I said, I'm deleting you as a friend. I said, because apparently nobody can call Father Satan Father but you. I said, and I don't know if you have ever seen a psychiatrist or talked to a psychologist or whatever. I said, but I really do think that you need to. I said, because you are basically delusional. I said, thinking that nobody else can call Father Satan Father but you. I said, I hate to burst your bubble, but there's millions of Father Satan's true children out there in this world. I said, and every one of them calls him Father. Their spiritual father. I said, and if you can't handle it, well, you're on your own. You're going to have to deal with it. So, I just wanted to say that because there's a lot of people, and I've started to notice over the last 2 years, I'll say, mostly, I started to notice more and more, that a lot of people have this weird delusions, and that's all it is delusions. I'm not being an asshole here either. I'm just speaking it like it is. They have these weird delusions that Father Satan is their biological earthly dad. He's their spiritual father, not earthly father. Because if he was, your mother would be torn to pieces. And before you came out into this world. That being said, Father Satan is our spiritual dad, our spiritual father. Okay? Beautiful Queen Lilith is our spiritual mother. Alright? Now, that being said, a lot of people out there, and there is a lot, the last 2 years I started to notice a lot more. People that think that Father Satan is their earthly dad. Or Mother Beautiful Queen Lilith is truly their earthly mother. Not spiritual, earthly. And a lot of people think that you can just have conversations with demonic entities, ancient gods, and the demonic just say, say I'll use Lord Belial. Lord Belial, can you come visit me? And then Lord Belial will sit down alongside you and you'll have a coffee or a beer together or a glass of pop or what have you. When it gets to that point, you need to step back and analyze what you're doing. Because Father Satan doesn't want you to be doing that. Not at all. Because that's getting to the point of delusional. And there's a lot of people out there, and I'm not pointing no fingers.